Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Jono and I work in cybersecurity as a SOC analyst. So a lot of you guys have been asking how to create a dashboard on Splunk, and I understand it might be a bit tricky for some of you guys. Maybe you're just here to see how it works, or you just want to see how it's built from the bottom up. So this video is going to be a little bit different, where I'm just going to run through from start to finish, going through the logs on Splunk and finishing with a dashboard so you guys can see how everything works from the start. So on my screen here you can see I'm on Splunk, and this is hosted on my own virtual machine in my own computer. And if you want to set up the same environment, then check out this video up here where I go through how to set up Splunk from start to finish. And in that video I also show how you can put in sample logs so you can do stuff like creating a dashboard, creating alerts, and do some practice over there. So that's very important to go through if you want to follow along this video and do what I do. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is go to this index here, bots v3. So this index contains a lot of sample logs from different source types like AWS logs, firewall logs, Windows logs, and it's all very helpful with practicing your SPL queries, which stands for Search Processing Language. So now we have this on our screen. I'm not going to go in too much detail with all this on our screen because that's going to take up so much time. So what I'm going to do is to select a specific type of example so it's easier on you guys. And the example I always go to is IP addresses. So essentially that means we're looking at the traffic flow from source IP address to destination IP address. Essentially it's just firewall logs. So there's a couple of things going on this screen which might seem kind of daunting for you guys. So essentially what Splunk allows us to do is to bring in different events from different source types like firewall for example, or maybe web traffic, Windows event logs. So each of these logs come in the form of an event, and each event contains different types of fields. Like for example, in this particular case, we can see the time, we can see the destination IP, we can see the protocol, we can see the source IP, the source MAC address. So all of these fields depends on what type of source we're looking at. And we can see the raw input of this particular event, which is in JSON format. And Splunk is smart enough to digest this particular format and extract all of the relevant fields into a neat, readable fashion. So what I usually do here is to do some log discovery. And what that means is I'm just trying to make sense of what this particular event is telling us. So usually when I'm at this log discovery stage, the first thing I would do is to think about questions that I might have for this particular system, and this system being the firewall. So usually what I do is to pull up a notepad and just start dropping in the questions that I would have. So let's label this as firewall logs. So I guess the first question I will ask myself would be, what makes a firewall traffic suspicious? Now this question is good because it opens up a lot more sub questions that I will ask myself. Like for example, this prompts me to think if a source IP address is spamming someone else, and we can dig deeper into the source IP address. So stuff like which country is the source IP address, and also is it a malicious source IP address. Now these are really good starting points for us to start building our search. So what I usually do is to pull a table function, and then I'll put in source IP, destination IP. So I'm getting these fields from down here. So source IP, and then we have destination IP here. And what I'm gonna do here is also to add the time field, which is underscore time. That's the field name. So essentially what we have now is each individual row here represents one single event. And each of these individual events, we have the source IP and the destination IP address. Now bringing back the notepad, the first question we had was, is the source IP address spamming? So what we can do here is to group up the unique source IP addresses and then see how many times it's reaching out to other IP addresses. So example, we can see this IP address ending .130 in multiple events here. So now I'm going to use a stats function. So that's how you can aggregate the fields. Stats count by source IP. So now we can see all the unique source IP addresses on the left side, and then we have the count on the right side. Now let's sort this by the top 10 IP addresses to see what's the most amount of count we have. So I'm going to do sort and then minus, that's the descending order, and then put in count. Then I'm going to do hit 10. So that's going to give me the top 10 results. So here we can see this IP address has 25,701 hits. Now this answers the first point, is the source IP address spamming? And here you can see the answer is yes in the top 10 IP addresses. Now let's answer the second question, which is which country is the source IP address? So what I'm going to do is to duplicate this tab. So we're saving this particular search for our dashboard later on. Alright, so now we're back to the table. So what I'm going to do here is to put in IP location, which is a function that allows us to determine the source country from the source IP address. So I'm going to put in the source IP as the field. And now I want to group them all up by the countries. So I'm going to do stats count by country. Here we can see all the countries and the number of count on the right side. But I want to do the same thing and sort it by the top number of count and the top 10 only. I'm going to sort by descending order. I'm going to add in the top 10. And here we can see the US is the number 1 with 516 count of IP addresses. So that answers the second point, which is this one here. Now the last point is we want to determine whether or not the source IP addresses are malicious. So what we can do here is we can use the US IP addresses. So what I'm going to do is to duplicate the tab again. So we're going to save this one to the dashboard later on as well. So now I'm going to delete these 3 lines and go back to this search. And we're only going to look for United States, so we're going to search for the country. And what I want to do here is to look for the top 10 IP addresses here and see whether or not they're malicious. So I'm going to use stats again, count by source IP. I'm going to sort it by count and I'm going to do hit 10. Now that we have all these IP addresses, the next question is how do we determine whether or not they're malicious or not? And the best way to do this is to do an IP lookup. So I've previously installed this app called Abuse IPDB. And essentially this website allows you to do some IP search. So for example, if I select this one here, it'll tell you if it's a malicious IP address, whether or not the confidence of abuse is 100% or how many times it's been reported. So this is a really useful threat intel feed that you can have in a Splunk environment. So going back to Splunk, we can open up the app and see what we can do with it. And this is the documentation, and we can see it allows us to do an IP check. So let's copy this one here and drop it here, and let's change the IP to source IP. Now what's happening here is the API is going to work in the backend and it's going to run the source IP against the threat intel feed and it's going to come back with the results. So now we can see a lot of information here from that search. We can see the company that the IP address belongs to, and we can see the domains here. And the most important thing is we can see the abuse score, which luckily all of them are 0. So now that we've answered all 3 of these questions, the next thing we can do is to put it into a dashboard. Now you might be asking, why do we need to put it in a dashboard? The main purpose of dashboards is to give you a holistic view of your environment. So instead of doing all of your work again, like building up the search from bottom up, you can save it to a dashboard and then easily load it for the next time. Or if you have someone else who's also interested in this particular information, then you can just share the dashboard and they can easily look at it. So what I'm going to do is open up a dashboard, and over here I'm going to click new dashboard, give it a name. So I'm going to do demo firewall, and here you can click on private or share in apps. I'm going to leave it at private, and over here let's select classic. Dashboard Studio is a bit more advanced and that's for a later topic. So here we have an empty dashboard. There are 2 ways to add the search in. One is by clicking the panel here and go new, statistics, and then we go back to this search, copy it and drop it in here, add to dashboard, and that's gonna show up here. Let's change the time frame and let's save that. So that's the first way. The second way is to add it directly from the search. So let's go to this next one and let's click save as, existing dashboard, and let's click on our dashboard and click save to dashboard. I'm going to close this one and go back here. I'm going to do a refresh, and now we have these 2 here. So let me add in the last one here, do the same thing, save as, demo firewall, save to dashboard, do another refresh. Alright, so now we have all 3 searches in our dashboard, but this seems a little bit bland, so let's make it a bit more interesting. So instead of just putting it in a table format, let's change it to a bar graph. So let's select the visualization and let's select the bar chart, and over here we can see the option to put in the values, and let's give it a name, top 10 IP addresses by hit count. So let's do the same thing for the next one. Select the visualization, bar chart, and I'm going to add in the values, top 10 countries by source IP addresses. And for the last one, we'll leave it as it is, but let's add in a title. So we can do top 10 IP addresses from United States, and let's move this up here and let's save that. And also let's make it dark mode so it's easier on our eyes. Alright, so that's pretty much it for this dashboard. This is a really simple dashboard and I hope it gives you the insight into how we do this kind of thing. It might seem really complex and daunting to some of you guys, but with enough practice, you guys will definitely get the hang of it, and everything will come really easily to you over time. Stuff like the questions, what to look at in the logs, the events, what functions you need in the SPL query. Everything's going to get easier the more you work on this. There are definitely way more complex dashboards that you can build on Splunk, but that's definitely for the advanced level and for the people that really wants to get into this. And if that's you, then leave a comment down below if you want to see more advanced stuff on Splunk. Anyway, that's it from me. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.